Over a mile of throw out of a flashlight. That is phenomenal. Alright, I've reviewed hundreds of flashlights on my YouTube channel, and I don't think I've ever been as excited to review one as with this flashlight here. And this is Thrunite TN42 V2, and it's running an SBT 90.2 emitter. This mammoth of a light is pumping out 4,848 lumens, which is quite a bit, but I just got done reviewing a 5,000 lumen littler flashlight than this, so lumens isn't everything, but as you're going to find out, the punch this thing produces and how far it throws, it's probably about my most exciting flashlight that I've had, and I've done a lot of throwers before. Spec-wise, the distance on this is 1,860 meters, a little bit over a mile of throw. We're not going to go into very many specs on this flashlight, but I do want to point out, number one, it runs to 4,848 lumens for 2 minutes, and then it drops down. You'll see out there on high, 1,863 lumens runs steady for 3 hours. In Firefly, which is this mode right here, and as you can see, even with two lights on in my house, it's bright. You're talking 180 days. Almost a half a year of continuous runtime on that, which I find quite amusing. And even the low mode itself is 80 lumens. That'll run for over 3 days. And as far as what you're going to get with this light are the batteries, and I'll pop it open and show you them. Them themselves are very expensive batteries. And yes, you're going to be paying a little bit for this light, but I'm telling you, reviewing lights and testing them out, this thing is well worth it. There's a strap that I will put on there that I'm quite amazed with. Doesn't come with a case, it comes with a strap. And the big one to me is this charger to charge it. It's not a cheap made charger by no means. It is a USB-C. So anybody that has the USB-C phones and got the rapid charge, this charger is gonna do you some good for charging phones. It's kicking out 5 amps of juice. Now the batteries are 4 Thrunites, 4,000 milliamp, 14.4 watt hour, 21,700 batteries. Just the batteries alone, this thing is wicked. These batteries are not cheap. So that's probably a decent part of the price that you pay for this light. Just like all Thrunites, this thing is so well made. A little bit dusty. But I want to do is take you outside and show you some beam shots, but real quick first, let's do a heat test on it, because one thing I noticed, the thing gets pretty hot to the touch when it's on turbo. I'm going to set it up and we'll get the heat test done. Now let's get outside. And I will be putting it into turbo, as you can see right there. Right now, the temperature of this thing is at around 69 to 70 degrees. I don't know how it's going to do for the camera when I go into turbo, but double click, just like the other Thrunites. And the thing is bright. I might speed the camera up here to show you. We're up to 80 degrees around the switch. The hottest is up just past the switch to where the reflector starts. Right now it's up to 90. (102, 103). It dissipates heat quite well. 106, 107, 109, 111, 12. Pretty hot to the touch, but you can still grab it. 114, 15. 116 so far is the hottest I've got with this. So I've got a 17 right there, in that, right on the neck. 118. 120. 120 degrees right up in here. think it dropped down. Nope, 122. Right up by the switch. Oh yeah, it dropped down. 123. It's cooling off now. Just a little over 100 degrees up by that switch. So about 122 degrees on the highest end on it. And the other things it comes with is a rear switch cover, numerous O-rings for it, and then the charging port cover. As far as the strap, we'll throw that on quick. The front one snaps in right above the switch. And that thing locks in good. You can still run the switch with it. The rear part of the strap hooks on any of these slots in the battery cover. Awesome light. We're going to run out and do some shining. All right, we're going to skip the close range shots with this Thrunite TN42. It isn't really going to pay unless I turn it down. But what I want to do is just show you just how darn bright this flashlight is. And of course, I got a lot of wind. Storm might be brewing. So we're going to start out with the Thrunite Catapult. That's on turbo on the Catapult V6. And that tree line up at the top is over 300 meters back. And that's turbo. That's the Catapult, and that is the TN42. So I got the camera set up to mimic the human eye, to show you what I am seeing. But that 300 meters is nowhere near enough with this flashlight. And we got a lot of pollen in the air. So what I'm going to do is move down farther. Actually, let's move it close. This is the lowest mode at that tree that's 64 meters away. And that's why I moved it close. That's turbo. That's low. Next one up. Low, medium, and that's high. And your turbo. So let's push this thing down. Well over 500 meters back there is a tree line, and we got so much pollen in the air. This thing, words do not describe just how bright it is. I might take that camera down in the field, but before I do that, what I want to do is take my side-by-side down the road and shine this thing back from pushing 500 meters back. And to show you, I'm going to get my camera set up, tipped down a little. We're going to shine the V6 Catapult, which is one of my favorite little throwers, and I've done a lot of reviews on throwers. And as you can see there, very bright light. That's the V6, and that's the TN42. We'll compare them both side by side right here. Catapult and the TN42. Not much comparison. So let me go get my four-wheeler and go down the road. Okay, now I have my Kawasaki mule here, coupled with the normal LED lights, looking at a set of each 5-watt Crees with 40 emitters each. There's 80 emitters coming out of this off-road lights on here. It's anywhere from 50,000 on up, maybe 75,000 lumens total. They're extremely bright. We're going to compare these to that Thrunite TN42. Okay, I got my normal LEDs on the mule, and these are on the high mode, which are extremely bright. And there's the TN42. You know what? Let me turn my ISO way down. Okay, I got the ISO turned all the way down to 400 actually. Here's the regular lights on my Kawasaki, and that's the Thrunite. And I got it turned way darker than what the human eye can see. If you notice how bright that is. Now I'm going to switch over to them 85-watt Cree LEDs. That is bright. And that's the Thrunite. Let's try to turn the ISO down even more. That's as low as it'll go. And you can see the Thrunite is still punching out a lot more concentrated light than LEDs. Turn it back up to what the human eye can see. There's a lot of pollen in the air. Turning off them off-road lights. There's the normal LEDs, and there's the Thrunite. God, this light is bright. I'm going to shine it across the road towards the neighbor's farm. Hope I don't wake them. Okay, like I said, I got a lot of pollen in the air, but I'm going to do the Catapult V6 first. That's well over 700 meters away, them hay bales. Man, I can't believe the pollen. That hillside is pushing a mile up there. You can see that outline up there of it. Them hay bales, or that's a trailer house they're putting in, lighting it right up. Boy, if it was a clear night, yeah, you can see that tree line up there. I'm telling you, that's almost a mile away. Moving up here, God, that thing's almost too bright for this. This thing is just unreal. God, this thing is unreal. Even you go into lowest mode, it's bouncing off that hill that's that far away. Yeah, that's like 400 plus meters. And medium, you can shine deer on medium with this thing. Big time. And high itself is just perfect. As far as the human eye can see on high. This horse is down in that field right there. And it's almost too bright for them. That's the lowest mode. And I can see them horses plain as day with the unaided eye. Medium. Man, this is a great shine for shining wildlife, even on medium. And you got turbo. I got to turn the camera down even to be able to see 400 plus meters, or it washes it out. Well over 500. Look at that. You can't go wrong with this flashlight. If it wasn't for all the pollen flying through the air, you'd be able to get a clearer shot of this with the camera. But up there's probably 350 to 400 meters. This thing, if people watch my other videos, this is probably, I'd say, other than that W20, which didn't even produce 400 lumens in a tight beam, this is by far the farthest throwing light I've ever had my hands on. But I say this thing's well worth the money with what you're paying and what you're getting. Heck yeah. I won't even hesitate. Right down there, I gotta turn it down. There's wildlife. Oh. There's a deer down in that field. I just saw his eye. I don't think you're gonna see it with a brush in the way now. We got a bug landed right on the end. Well, you know what? I even had to clear cover on this thing. The whole time, I had the protective cover on this flashlight. I don't think it hurt it too much. What I'm going to do is shine back over there. By that trailer. Protective cover off. Protective cover on. Protective cover off. I think you get an idea just how bright this light is. And it's getting ready to storm. And normally I do lux meter tests and everything else on these lights, but I didn't want to even bother with it. It just amazes me how far this light throws. Do I think it's worth the money you pay for it? Yes, I do. One thing I wish Thrunite would have done is put a charging port on the side of it to charge phones. Like rapid charger. That'd be awesome. This is a wicked light. If you want to invest in a wicked thrower that is very amazing, this would be one that I would do. So there you go. The Thrunite TN42 V2. You can't go wrong with this thing. Beautiful light. Beautiful amount of output. Awesome. So there you go. Till next time.